fix it. And I remember seeing that as a med student and a resident and thinking, how does this help?
Good morning, America. Breaking news. Overnight, the government shuts down again. Senator Rand Paul's protest. The late night drama before an early morning deal. But what about those dreamers left out?
And a giant storm shutting down schools across the Midwest this morning. More than 1,000 flights canceled as the biggest snowstorm of the season slams the heartland. And now new concerns, an even bigger storm heading for the Northeast. An ABC News exclusive. Kate Upton here live telling her story. Those alarming allegations against the co-founder of Guess. And her message for women everywhere, only on GMA this morning.
And let the games begin. The Olympic opening ceremony underway. Team USA arriving in style, but not without controversy. The battle over who carries the American flag and the figure skating flop overnight. Kicking off the games, we're live in South Korea for all the action, right here on GMA.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
Good morning, America, and so much excitement this morning. Just moments ago, Team USA arriving at the Olympic opening ceremony.
And Amy is there in South Korea, and we can't wait to talk to her in a little while. There she is, waving back at you, Amy.
A lot of drama there, a lot of drama back here at home as well. Starting on Capitol Hill overnight, government shut down for the second time in 3 weeks over a funding bill. It was forced by Senator Rand Paul making a point about the deficit, but lawmakers were able to strike a deal just moments ago. Our senior congressional correspondent, Mary Bruce, coming off an all-nighter. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. Well, we've never seen anything quite like this before. 2 government shutdowns in just 3 weeks. And this time there was a government spending bill on the table ready to go that could have prevented all of this. But overnight, one Republican senator held that plan hostage. Rand Paul of Kentucky forcing a shutdown, blocking a vote to make a political point. For hours, he railed on the floor against what he says is out of control government spending, and he was defiant. Take a listen.
Well, you know what? I think the country's worth a debate till 3 in the morning. Do I want to shut down government? No. But do I want to keep it open and not reform it? Hell no.
Now, Paul kept this up for hours, finally relenting around 1 a.m., exhausted and very frustrated with his colleague senators, then voted to pass this sweeping spending bill. But then members of the House had to be hauled out of bed, back up here into work. And just a short while ago, they did pass this bill to finally reopen the government, ending this 5-hour shutdown.
It's actually going to take several weeks to write the final deal. Some other opposition could mount in those weeks. And of course, the big thing left out of this deal was anything on the Dreamers and immigration.
Yeah, George, those dreamers are still hanging in the balance with that March 5th deadline looming. Now, next week, the Senate will move to an open free-for-all debate as they try to come up with a plan to protect them. But both sides up here are pretty dug in. Republicans calling for stricter border security. And, of course, there's questions about the president's wall, which Democrats oppose. Now, next week, the Senate will bring up varying proposals, voting till they're blue in the face and can come up with a plan that can actually pass. But, of course, whatever passes in the Senate then has to clear over in the House, where changes are likely to be made. And the big X factor here is the president. What immigration bill is he willing to sign? George.
Mary, you have a lot of energy after an all-nighter. Go home and get some sleep.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. As that drama played out on Capitol Hill overnight, another drama is playing out on Wall Street. The Dow having its worst week since 2008. Stocks are already falling overseas this morning after that 1,000-point drop in the Dow last night. This with a common look on the floor. ABC's Lindsay Janice is there at the New York Stock Exchange with more. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Michael. Stock futures bouncing in and out of negative territory this morning, so it's looking like it's going to be another roller coaster ride after Thursday's massive sell-off. You said it, the Dow plunging more than 1,000 points. It was the second biggest one-day point drop in history. The biggest was on Monday. You could see the shock and anguish on the faces of traders here on the stock exchange floor as they digested this new reality. Stocks now officially in correction territory. That means they are 10% below their all-time high, which was just 2 weeks ago. Nearly $2.5 trillion in wealth wiped out in that time, Michael.
And Lindsay, we've been hearing about how well the stock market, how well the economy is doing. So why this sharp turn in the market?
It's strange, Michael. Investors say actually this concern and this sell-off is about concern that the economy is doing so well. A lot of people have jobs. Wage growth is at its fastest pace in 9 years. All of that could trigger the Federal Reserve to hike rates, interest rates at a faster pace than expected to try to stop the economy from overheating. But to put all of this in perspective, Michael, stocks still significantly higher than they were 1 year ago today. A 401k investor, the average investor, still looking at a gain of about 12%. Michael?
All right, thank you, Lindsay. Robin?
Okay, Michael, now to that major winter storm hammering the Midwest this morning. Schools in Detroit, Milwaukee, and Chicago all closed, and more than 1,000 flights canceled or delayed. ABC's Alex Perez is in Chicago, where they're expecting up to 10 inches of snow. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Robin. The snow is falling here. We are in the middle of this storm right now, and getting around anywhere today is going to be a huge pain. Now, take a look. Already this morning, more than 1,000 flights canceled, more than 700 of those flights right here at Chicago's airports alone. Airlines waiving rebooking fees for passengers impacted by the storm. Now, look at these images. The snow started falling down during the evening commute and hasn't stopped. Chicago in the thick of it, bracing for 6 to 10 inches as salt and plow trucks have been working through the night. As you mentioned, Chicago Public Schools canceling classes today. Milwaukee, Detroit, Cleveland, a huge swath of the Midwest, all in the path of this storm, and we'll be dealing with monster commutes today. The governor here in Illinois warning residents, unless you have to absolutely travel today, don't. Robin?
Good advice there, Alex. Thank you.
It is rough out there. We're going to go to the White House now, and that growing firestorm over the top aide, Rob Porter, forced out after 2 ex-wives accused him of abuse. Our senior White House correspondent, Cecilia Vega, has the latest. And Cecilia, I was watching your colleagues in the briefing room yesterday. Chief of Staff John Kelly, other top aides facing mounting questions. How long do they know about these allegations, and why didn't they take action?
Yeah, George, and you probably saw that the White House didn't have very many answers to any of those questions. Now that this story has exploded, Rob Porter is officially off of the job. He packed up his office here yesterday and left. This after the White House had initially said he would stay on the job after resigning to oversee a smooth transition. With the West Wing in crisis mode, overnight Chief of Staff John Kelly sent a letter to staffers telling them the White House takes matters of domestic violence very seriously. This as the administration faces mounting questions about exactly how long Kelly knew of those bombshell abuse claims made by former Staff Secretary Rob Porter's 2 ex-wives. His first ex-wife releasing this photo to ABC saying he punched her in the face in 2005. In that letter, Kelly never mentioned Porter's name, but he offered counseling assistance, saying, "We understand the shock, pain, and confusion that these allegations have caused in our workplace." Both women tell ABC News they told the FBI about Porter's alleged abuse when they were interviewed during a background check for his White House security clearance. And they say Porter contacted them after, one telling the Washington Post he asked if she used the word violent in her interview. His second wife, Jenny Willoughby, says she told them everything.
They were asking me to describe his character, asking me to describe anything that I thought might be problematic in his position. I was very candid and frank and detailed with them about my marriage.
And his first wife, Colby Holderness, tells ABC in late 2016, another woman reached out to her, accusing Porter of repeated abuse, saying he's legitimately susceptible to blackmail and shouldn't have that clearance. According to the Washington Post, White House counsel Don McGahn was made aware of the abuse allegations at least 3 separate times, and that Kelly knew about them as early as this fall. When the allegations first broke, Kelly called Porter a man of true integrity and honor. But Kelly's second statement said he was shocked by the new allegations and that there is no place for domestic violence, but that every individual deserves the right to defend their reputation. The White House saying Kelly's new statement was largely prompted by the release of the graphic photos.
Are you saying that the chief of staff of this White House had no idea that Rob Porter's 2 ex-wives had domestic violence allegations against him when they made those claims to the FBI, that John Kelly did not know that? How is that possible the chief of staff did not know that?
And the chief of staff does not get detailed updates about what may or may not have been alleged. This is a process.
Porter is romantically linked to White House Communications Director Hope Hicks, the White House not saying whether she helped write the statements commending Porter.
But I would say that all the statements were crafted by a number of senior White House officials.
Porter denies abusing his ex-wives, saying the outrageous allegations are simply false. I took the photos, and the reality behind them is nowhere close to what is being described. As for what President Trump knew and when, the White House will only say he learned of questions surrounding Porter's security clearance as reports surfaced in the press.
He was surprised by it, he was disheartened by it, and he was saddened by it.
So now a rare admission of fault from this White House. That Deputy Press Secretary Raj Shah says that they could have done better, George, in dealing with this situation.
Right, Cecilia, but it's not just messaging right now. More questions for John Kelly about how he's managing the White House and whether others have issues with their security clearances.
Yeah, because of these abuse allegations, Rob Porter was never granted a permanent security clearance. He basically was here for a full year working on a temporary pass because of these allegations. And he wasn't alone. Jared Kushner, the president's own son-in-law, is still on one of these temporary security clearances. We're told that John Kelly has been frustrated by the number of aides still on these essential temporary passes. Sources tell us there's been some chatter here in the West Wing about possibly letting these people go. But so far, George, no plans to carry any of this action out.
Cecilia Vega, thanks very much. Michael?
Now to another former White House staffer, Omarosa, making headlines again with her comments about the Trump administration, claiming on reality TV that she was, quote, haunted by the president's tweets. Our chief national correspondent, Tom Yamas, is here with more. Good morning, Tom.
Michael, good morning to you. Omarosa told you recently, right here on GMA, she had a story to tell. And that's exactly what she's doing on primetime television. And this is how she's now describing her tenure in the White House. When you're in the middle of a hurricane, it's hard to see the destruction on the outer bands.
She's back.
I'm Omarosa.
This morning, President Trump hit with some reality show revenge.
This is 100% worse. Why? Because it wasn't a game show.
Omarosa Manigault Newman revealing on the CBS show Celebrity Big Brother she's worried about the Trump White House after seeing it from the inside.
You know, I'd like to say not my problem, but I can't say that because it's bad.
Should we be worried? Don't say that. Because we are worried, but I need you to say, no, it's going to be okay.
No, it's going to not be okay. It's not. It's so bad.
Now, for the first time, sharing her regrets about working for the president.
Like, I was haunted by tweets every single day. Like, what is he going to tweet next?
Does anybody say to him, what are you doing?
I mean, I tried to be that person, and then all of the people around him attacked me. It was like, keep her away from, don't give her access, don't let her talk to him.
The White House downplaying her access to the commander-in-chief.
Omarosa was fired 3 times on The Apprentice, and this was the 4th time we let her go. She had limited contact with the president while here. She has no contact now.
2 months ago, she was fired from her White House job. Omarosa says she resigned. And shortly after the announcement, she told Michael jealousy played a role.
Certainly, I had more access than most, and people had problems with that. People had problems with my 14-year relationship with this president.
And that her side of the story was coming soon.
When I have a chance to tell my story, Michael, quite a story to tell.
That time is now, apparently, right in front of the cameras.
Would you vote for him again?
God, no. Never. In a million years, never.
Omarosa also said last night the reason why she took the job in the White House was because it was, quote, like a call of duty. The show just started, so we may be hearing much more of her, Michael.
Wow. Thank you, Tom.
Ever get the feeling like we're all being punked?
Yeah. Why are you whispering with a microphone? I don't get it. We're going to pick it up anyway, George. Oh, boy. We're going to make a turn now to the Olympics. The opening ceremonies in South Korea this morning. Amy is there in Pyeongchang. And, Amy, thousands are packing to the stadium for the big event. A lot of excitement, but it's a little backlash over who's carrying the American flag. Good morning, Amy. You're looking great.
That's right. Good morning to you, Michael. Thanks. And yes, all of that excitement happening at the Pyeongchang Olympic Stadium right here behind me with the largest number of U.S. athletes competing in the history of the Winter Olympics. And yes, the woman proudly carrying the U.S. flag for all of those athletes is 4-time Olympian Erin Hamlin. And she told me earlier today she is not letting the controversy of how she got that role affect this once-in-a-lifetime honor. Let the games begin. The opening ceremony of the 23rd Winter Olympics kicking off with a dazzling display. Team USA clad in custom Ralph Lauren outfits, led by four-time Olympian and luger Erin Hamlin, but amid some controversy. Speed skater Shawnee Davis tied Hamlin in a vote to carry the flag and ultimately lost in a coin toss to determine the winner. Davis tweeting, Team USA dishonorably tossed a coin to decide its 2018 flag bearer.
How are you feeling about the controversy, and is that going to overshadow at all what you're doing tonight?
I, have had nothing to do with the process. Has nothing to do with me aside from the fact that I am the flag bearer, and I'm going to enjoy the moment.
Vice President Mike Pence touching down in South Korea Thursday to lead the U.S. delegation in the opening ceremony. Pence facing criticism today from openly gay freestyle skier Gus Kenworthy.
I think it's unfortunate that Mike Pence is leading the delegation because he's actively stood against LGBT issues in the past.
Will you get to meet with him beforehand? Is that how it usually works?
I sincerely hope not.
Pence's guest, the father of Otto Warmbier, the UVA student who died after slipping into a coma while imprisoned in North Korea. Sitting close to the American delegation, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's sister, Kim Yo-jong, the first member of the family to step foot in South Korea. The competition got off to a rough start for the Americans before the opening festivities began. In men's team figure skating, 18-year-old American favorite Nathan Chen stumbling, placing a disappointing fourth. But the 244 members of the U.S. Olympic team are nothing if not resilient. Two-time gold medalist Shaun White is back for his fourth Olympics after a nasty half-pipe spill last fall left him with 62 stitches in his face.
I'm sitting there going, okay, if I go ride again, that means that I'm willing to let this happen to myself again.
Yeah, I mean, and so much of competing at this level is mental.
But yeah, that's what it's all about. It's like overcoming those fears and those odds.
And by now, you may have heard, it is freezing here. It is the Winter Olympics after all. About 30 degrees right now with a wicked wind chill. And that stadium behind me right now does not have a roof. So you see what I'm wearing, a little wardrobe change here. Team USA decked out in Ralph Lauren, including this jacket that actually has a heater built inside of it. If the fireworks that are happening right there aren't keeping everyone warm, well, these jackets certainly are keeping the U.S. athletes warm and myself.
Good.
They stay warm for up to 11 hours, guys.
Wow, quite a difference from the last time you were at the Winter Games when you had a fan. Remember going there? This is truly the Winter Games. But Amy, as you said, the games have already begun. Yeah, the games have begun, and you showed us about Nathan Chen, but he still has a shot.
He certainly does, because what you saw him have a little bit of a problem with was the team event. And yes, he got off to a rough start, a disappointing start, but he still has all of his individual events that begin next week, and that is where so many expect him to shine. So maybe he just, got off to a rough start, but he's going to finish strong. We can all hope so, guys.
Get it out of the way. Get out of the way real fast. You're looking good there, Amy. Thank you. Thanks.
I
We'll
get
be
so
checking.
nervous watching.
Yeah.
I get so nervous watching the skaters.
They put everything into that one
tiny misstep.
That's it. Let's go to Rob now, who's tracking the storm in the Midwest. Rob?
Hey, good morning, guys. Detroit having their own version of the Winter Olympics, sliding around there. We showed you pictures of Chicago, a couple of inches already in Detroit, and we've got flood watches out for the southern extent of this system. But the winter storm warnings today with another pulse of snow coming over the weekend, getting in through I-90 up through Buffalo, getting into Albany tonight, and then another one Sunday. Heavy rain for New York with that southern warm air. Weekend Getaways now, brought to you by Kay Jewelers.
We're Dude Perfect, and this is the no-look laser shot.
Truck!
Trick shots are hard. Valentine's Day doesn't have to be.
Just go to Kay.
February 8th through the 14th, everything is 25 to 50% off, with special financing available using the Kay Jewelers credit card. At Kay, the store to win Valentine's Day.
This weekend will be milder, but with lots of clouds moving through and rain. A lot of it, too, on tap for your Sunday. Now, today is going to be dry. We'll get out of the 30s. We'll see temperatures top out about 45 to 47 degrees. If you're going out this evening, also dry. Tomorrow morning will be dry. We'll have some occasional showers coming our way for the afternoon. And then Sunday, look for a soaker. We'll get quite a bit of rain, over an inch possible. The most rain that we've had around here since early August.
Coming up, we have that ABC News exclusive. Supermodel Kate Upton here live, opening up about her Me Too claim against the co-founder of Guess.
If you have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis or psoriatic arthritis,